My friends, right now under the mountains of Yazd in Iran, the regime believes its missiles are safe. They are wrong. What you're about to see is how the B-21 Raider turned the greatest desert fortress into a luxury tomb without firing a single shot. Yazd is not just a base, it's the heart of the Iranian nuclear program. Billions in reinforced concrete, Russian filtration systems, S-400 batteries guarding every entrance. The Ayatollahs felt untouchable. They believed the mountain was the ultimate shield. The B-21 Raider cancelled that life insurance. And the thumbnail of this video is not an exaggeration. It's a technical statement. The B-21 is not a plane, it's a death sentence. It turned Yazd into a wasteland. A tomb, even before the first bomb, without warning and without defense. What's happening now in the Strait of Hormuz, that aggressive naval blockade with 3 supercarriers, only makes sense because of this. In the back of the war room, they know Iran has lost its immunity. The B-21 doesn't evade defenses, it ignores them. It doesn't exist on radar. When you take away a country's detection capability, you take away its sovereignty, and that gigantic bunker is a static target waiting for the order. Harvest time. Now look at the detail. The difference between the old B-2 and this B-21 isn't just the size, it's the skin. The original B-2 required climate-controlled hangars. Thousands of hours of manual maintenance on every inch of the aircraft's covering. The B-21 uses next-generation composite materials integrated into the structure. And in practice, the evolution of radar-absorbing materials allows the B-21 to maintain its stealth in any weather. This enables a brutal attack cadence. Continuous night after night. The radar signature of the B-21 is equivalent to that of a marble. Iran's S-400 is looking at nothing. While the bomb drops, the radar operator in Yazd sips his tea. He looks at a clean screen. While a $700 million ghost opens the bomb bay doors above him, and Iran knows it's blind. Minister Abbas Zaraki traveled through Pakistan. He tried to stitch together an air defense alliance. Pure desperation. He's bluffing, says Iran has surprises. Think again. The B-21 has aerial refueling capability, global range. It takes off from North Dakota, flies to Tehran, carries out the mission, and returns home. The United States doesn't need nearby bases. Iran has nowhere to strike. Global range eliminates vulnerability. Can Iran threaten Qatar or Saudi Arabia? It will come from where they can't reach. It's the collapse of proximity-based logic. The war is now waged from the heart of American territory, striking at the heart of the regime with no stopovers. The arithmetic here is devastating for the defender. While Iran was spending tens of thousands of dollars on fuel and maintenance just to keep obsolete fighter jets in the air, trying to chase shadows. The B-21 operates on an economy of scale that Tehran can't keep up with. The cost of an Iranian interceptor missile is higher than the hourly operating cost of the B-21. The direct result is a financial imbalance that breaks the regime's defense budget even before the first real engagement. They are spending to defend themselves against something they can't see, while the attacker spends to be invisible. It's economic checkmate disguised as stealth technology. Now pay attention. The secret goes deeper. The B-21 isn't just a heavy bomber, it's the brain of the pack. In practice, it's the concept of a combat cloud. It doesn't fly alone. It flies surrounded by invisible drones, the loyal wingmen. They are sensors, they are decoys, they are extra weapons platforms. They operate in total harmony. The integration with drones and satellites turns the B-21 into a combat center. It processes data in real time, neutralizing any reaction. And if Iran tries to jam GPS on a massive scale, the B-21 changes the game. It reads the terrain, comparing what it sees with the internal digital map. Accuracy within centimeters. Electronic jamming is useless against someone who doesn't need satellites. The B-21 hider identifies the structural weakness of the bunker and delivers a 13-ton bomb designed to pierce 60 meters of reinforced concrete before exploding. Iran invested in concrete and the United States invested in physics. The mountain is not protection. It will amplify the shockwave, turning the shelter into a pressure cooker. Tehran's billion-dollar investment was undone by a line of code and a delta wing design. What remains in the end is the realization that the mountain, once the regime's greatest ally, has become its greatest enemy, serving only to contain the explosion and ensure the total destruction of what's inside. And then comes something even more incredible. The artificial intelligence on board the B-21, like the gunslinger system, speeds up the human decision-making cycle. It doesn't just detect targets, it suggests attack consequences and reduces cognitive load. In practice, this means that a single B-21 can manage a swarm of 15 to 20 drones simultaneously, coordinating attacks from multiple vectors. The result is a saturation that no traditional air defense architecture was designed to handle. Iran is trying to fight a 1990 war against a 2030 system. They're playing chess while the United States has already moved on to quantum processing. Now connect the dots at sea. The naval blockade and the B-21 are the two blades of the same scissors. Iran is desperate to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. They need money to maintain their defenses. But the B-21 is the guarantee that the blockade won't be broken by force, the power of deep strike. That means the missile bases on the Iranian coast will be vaporized before they can fire a second shot. The B-21 ensures that the Lincoln and Ford aircraft carriers operate safely. It's already clipped the regime's claws behind the scenes, and Tehran knows it. If they escalate at sea, the response will come from an undetectable ghost. Their rhetoric has changed, notice that. It's an aggressive defense with no substance. They shout because they've lost the ability to bite. The naval blockade suffocates the economy. The B-21 paralyzes the military response. It's a coordinated siege. No room to maneuver. The regime is cornered between financial bankruptcy and technological obsolescence. The internal structure is creaking. It's only a matter of time before the total collapse. The B-21 is the guarantee that if Iran tries a desperate escape by sea, the price will be the immediate decapitation of its leadership and its nuclear infrastructure. What happens at the end is that the B-21 acts as the last mile of a chain of destruction that starts on the ground. It receives data from ground-based radars, passive acoustic networks, and even civilian absorbers being vectored to the exact point in the sky where the threat is. Once in the vicinity, the pilot uses infrared sensors to confirm the target and fires precision munitions that cost a fraction of traditional missiles. It's the victory of efficiency over volume. Iran tries to win by cost, launching cheap drones, but the B-21 responds with persistence and cost-efficient engagements that tilt the financial balance in favor of the defender. In practice, it's a war of attrition. Iran spends millions to build a bunker, millions more to maintain it, and the United States creates a tool that makes the bunker useless. It's Reagan's logic against the Soviet Union, forcing the enemy to invest in defenses you already know how to overcome. The B-21 is the pinnacle of that. It's not just a weapon of war, it's a weapon of economic ruin. Simplified maintenance reduces the cost per mission, and the United States keeps up the pressure indefinitely. Iran burns precious resources on surveillance that will never succeed. The direct result is that Yazid's security has evaporated. 360 technology has created a scenario where the defender is always behind. If GPS fails, it reads the terrain. If the radar tries to detect, it sees the mosquito. If the missile tries to lock on, the signal is erased. There are no gaps. The technological dominance reaches a level where conventional war against them is pure futility. It's the victory of mathematics over brute force. The enemy spends billions to hide, while the B-21 spends pennies to find and eliminate them. The sustainability of this defensive architecture is what sets the B-21 apart from any other existing platform. It can fly 5-hour patrols at a fraction of the cost of a jet fighter. This means you can maintain a constant presence over threat corridors, waiting for the right moment to act. Iran is facing an enemy that doesn't get tired, doesn't make mistakes due to fatigue, and operates in a financial reality the regime can't even imagine. The B-21 is the spiritual successor to all the great workhorses of history. It wins not by being the fastest, but by being the most available and sustainable in the necessary quantities. Technological superiority isn't about who has the biggest missile, it's about who has the best map. The ability to reach the destination without being invited. The B-21 Raider has proven that there's nowhere to hide, not even under the rocks of Yazd, nor behind Russian radars. Total dominance. What remains in the end is the realization that the real war doesn't just happen in the skies, but in the codes, in the composite materials, and in the financial flows that the media ignores. The system is being pressured from all sides, and what you see on the surface is just the tip of the iceberg. And that's why we deal with these details in depth, because information with substance is the only thing that separates your perception from the manipulation of the consortium. And for those who want to take the next step and see what the algorithm tries to silence, the heat maps, the uncut intelligence reports, and the behind-the-scenes analyses, the place to go is our exclusive platform. There we lay it all out about what really matters and is discussed in the centers of power. The QR code is right here on your screen, and the link is in the first pinned comment and in the description. Come to where the truth doesn't ask for permission. We already have more than 3,000 subscribers who support what we bring here to shield your mind. And if you're looking for a refuge where culture and values are still respected, we're waiting for you on our new series and movies channel, where we bring you recommendations for series and movies without woke culture, without whining. Especially now, as the war in the Middle East unfolds. There are some series and some movies that portray the operations of Mossad, the operations of the CIA, and the operations of the United States Army. It seems like everything was already predicted. It seems like they already knew what would happen. So go check out what we've prepared for you here in the card. Now subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, like the video, and help strengthen our community to make sure your mind stays shielded against mediocrity. I'm Shimon Oliveira, shield your mind. I'll see you in the next video. Until then,